Regular meeting to order. Pledge of Allegiance, Councilmember Powell.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Larkey,
Here.
Councilmember White, Councilmember Powell,
Here.
Councilmember Pryan,
Here.
Councilmember Kraft, Councilmember Clark,
Here.
Councilmember Goff,
Here.
Councilmember Lawson, Councilmember Richardson.
Here.
We have a quorum. No personal appearances. Ordinances. A motion approving the final reading of Bill 2022-60.
An ordinance approving a regional preventative maintenance program agreement between the Mid-America Regional Council and the City of Belton, Missouri, to support preventative maintenance activities on local roadways within the Kansas City metropolitan planning area in Missouri.
Present.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Goff,
Aye.
That's you.
That's you. Yeah.
Clark,
Yay.
Aye.
Powell,
Aye.
Richardson,
Aye.
Pryan,
Aye.
Mayor Larkey.
Aye. Motion carries. I'm going to make a motion that we postpone till next meeting items B, C, and D.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? The reason why I want to do this is obviously we're down 3 people and there's a lot of information in these 3 items, so we'll just postpone them until next meeting. Any other discussion?
I guess my question is, do we got to do those individually or can we do them collectively?
Since this is simply just noted on the agenda as B, C, and D, and that gives notice to the public of what is being continued, you can do them just as a group. Just like you do with consent agenda, when you all remove them, you'll say a
Okay.
string list.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item E, motion approving the first reading of Bill 2022-65.
An ordinance approving a memorandum of understanding between the North Cast Waste Management Sewer District and the City of Belton, Missouri, to connect the district to Belton's wastewater treatment facility.
Present.
Second.
We have a motion and a second.
This is, as we discussed many times, Olson Acres has always had a problem with treating their waste. The county will be building a service line from that, or a main from that location to our main, and so it'll go to our treatment plant. The county will continue to own their portion of the main, and we'll treat the waste. Happy to answer any questions.
So the county is paying for that?
County's paying for everything.
Cool.
How long does it take for them to, how long do you think that's going to take before they actually connect? Is that there's only, what, 50 houses left in there?
Yeah, I don't even think there's 50 left. I don't know what their stage of engineering is, but they'll have to engineer it and then construct it. I imagine it'll be built next summer.
Yeah.
Are we going to bill, are we collecting from the county or are we collecting from each individual person?
Normally, we set up a billing account that goes through the local water company, so the water that they use, we'll tack a sewer charge on.
Okay. Anybody else? All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries. Resolution. A, motion approving resolution R 22-117.
A resolution approving a renewal of Cigna employer-provided health insurance with a 15.02% increase, USA Bull employer-provided long-term disability and life insurance with a 0% increase, Delta Dental employer-provided dental insurance with a 0% increase, Superior Vision employer-provided vision insurance with a 0% increase, and an employee assistance program with Cigna, all beginning January 1st, 2023.
Present.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Go ahead.
Only that I would say, Mayor, that I think this is a nice gesture from the city to cover the increase. Nobody likes them.
Anybody else? You have anything to say about it? Put you on the spot.
Well, I think I said what I wanted to say last council meeting, but if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to.
Any other questions? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Consent agenda. One motion, non-debatable, to approve the recommendations noted. Any member of the council may ask for the item be taken from the consent agenda for discussion and separate action.
Present.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. City council liaison reports. Go ahead.
Oh, yes. Well, first, last week we had a transportation district meeting, and it went really fast, almost as fast as this meeting. And anyway, I asked the question, what is their ultimate goal? And they are not only making 4 lanes from the railroad tracks on Mullen down to Cambridge, but their ultimate goal is to get down to 187th Street and turn east towards, and connect that over to North Cass Parkway, and then possibly ultimately go the other way, go west towards Y Highway. For this deal on the table now, just going down to a circle at Cambridge, they have the banks okay for, I think, $7.5 million, and they're actually thinking the bank's so agreeable, they will probably go back and ask for a little more just to make sure they're cover the whole project. And second, the Codes Enforcement Advisory Council, even though last week it sounded or last meeting it sounded like we might be delayed, Matt has graciously started kicking it off and asking the members when we can meet. So appreciate that. Thank you.
Anybody else? Go ahead.
Rob, is there any possible time frame on that 4-lane all the way down to North Cass?
Right now they're moving the. Well, they're going to start this Monday. The way things work, I didn't go over there to look because it'll probably be 3 Mondays from now. But anyway, they are going to do the utilities over the winter and then start it next spring. So when it's going to be completed, I don't know. But the goal, and Greg knows a lot more than I do. The goal is
You're
to
in
start.
charge of that, aren't you?
Yep. Is to start next spring with construction.
Good.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Liaison?
Any other council reports?
Only thing I have to report, Mayor, is when you were out last week, I went to a ribbon cutting for Bridge Over Troubled Water, food pantry, that's over on off 163rd by the police station, and very well attended by city and staff, and pretty neat. I guess I've never really been in a food pantry before, but pretty interesting, and talking to Shay Jefferson, who runs it, it was neat to learn who they're serving and how they get in there and just everything about it. And they got fresh fruits and vegetables and meats, and so I think it's a lot different food pantry than most. So very welcome addition to our community.
Good. Anybody else?
I just have a question, since, well, anyway, what's the sales tax rate here in Belton?
9.1.
Okay, well, I won't mention any names, but I went to a local store and I was charged 10.1,
Well,
and
That's the
base is
TDD.
9.1. Now they couldn't have a TDD layered over or a CID layered over.
well, they said special tax, because,
That's what they're,
That's the
okay.
TDD board you're on, is at 1%.
Okay, because I Googled Belton sales tax and 2 different things came up. One said 9.1, one said 10.1, and so,
the base is 9.1
0.1.
for everywhere in the city.
okay,
And
but the
depending
extra
on where
one,
a TDD or a CID is added,
okay,
it could raise it up.
okay, Thank you.
When you say, I'll just add on to, when you say city's sales tax, we,
Yeah.
as a city, only get the 9.1, well, we only get 3.25.
Sure, right,
And the
right.
state and the county get theirs, but, because like Chewy has a half-cent CID, so my wife orders from Chewy that's 9.6. So you have
Okay.
different overlay districts across the city where, and I think Texas Roadhouse has a half-cent sales tax that they, a CID they have too, so.
Okay. Okay, depends on if you're in that TDD or CID or whatever. Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Go ahead.
I just want to say for the downtown Belt Main Street and Christmas on Main that's coming up, the lighted Christmas parade. So anybody that wants to get involved in that, get going now. We're going to try to get everybody dressed up as penguins on the parade. So anybody want to join in, hop on.
Is it gonna be 72 degrees again this year?
I'll let you know here in a few
Okay.
weeks.
Anybody else? So my communications, we're adding a meeting November 29th after Thanksgiving to kick off the budget process. So that's what the majority of that meeting will be, is about the budget. And then add on to what Chris said, Mayor's Christmas tree lighting and parades Saturday after Thanksgiving, November 26th. The parade starts at 5:30, I think, and the lighting's at 6. And then there's gonna be a bunch of other activities, so look for other information coming out about it. It's not finalized yet, but it'll be a good time, so. That's all I have. You have anything? Go ahead.
Mayor, one of the things I forgot, did want to thank Greg Rokus and the community, or his department. I was driving down 155th Street the other day, and they actually have signs up that says no commercial trucks and no right turns on Allen Street. So we've been asking for those for a couple months, or a year or so, whatever it's been. And I did see those up yesterday, so I just wanted to thank them for putting those up.
Good. Thank
Hopefully
you.
it helps.
Thank you, Greg.
Okay,
You're up.
there's a couple things I want to let you know about. Number one, Carla Wellen, our new HR director, started yesterday, so she's here working with City. I don't think she's here at the meeting tonight. And then, of course, the additional meeting is on the 29th is for starting our budget process, and I'm looking forward to that. And then our finance director, Casey Cohen, wanted to give you a finance update.
So Greg told me I only had 2 minutes, so I will try to read through this list quickly. I just wanted to give you an update on what Alexa's our Assistant Director of Finance, what we've been working on since we've been here. Again, I'll try to go through this quickly. I'm sure you are aware that we've hired 2 utility clerks, our Assistant Director of Finance. We have recorded all our sales tax reports from the state of Missouri, entered all the tax revenue up through September, and actually I think we did October. I completed this last week. Data entered all of the TIF calculations and wire payments, and I want to say, Councilmember Clark, I was very impressed that you knew all that about the taxing districts. It's nice to see that. I want to say that.
Right.
So Belton Town Center TDD, Y Belton Plaza 1 TIF, Y Belton Plaza 2 TIF, Y Belton Plaza 2 TDD, Y Highway Marketplace TIF, Cedar Tree TIF, Southtown Plaza TIF, and then the Belton Cass Regional TDD. We've been able to make all of those payments. They were behind when we got here, so we've been able to catch those up. And then also completed second and third quarter calculations and billing for the county, the Belton Cass TDD, and the 911 ESB payments. Prepared and entered all the journal entries for all the wire payments for all of those taxing districts. We'll finish wiring out October, hopefully tomorrow. All of the interfund transfers have been caught up for July and August, and for September. We've got October to do still. So because the audit wasn't completed or started when we got here, Alexa and I had to prepare an unaudited financial statement that we sent to the state because it was due September 30th, so we were able to complete that. We also had to prepare and submit court reports to the state. They were due by the end of the FY. Year-end reports for the taxing districts. Started the audit. Got the public safety sales tax reports for June, July, August, and September prepared for our November meeting. All of the property tax calculations, all of the receipting and journal entries for June, July, August, and September. We held some bond accounting training with Commerce last week. We're going to be going back and completing some more accounting for all of our investments. We are currently researching better and more efficient processes to balance the bank. I'm really looking forward to a new software system we are going to bring on board hopefully in April. The way that we are balancing the bank right now is not efficient at all. With the number of transactions that we have going through our bank every month, every day, we've got to have a more efficient process to do that. So really looking forward to getting that new software system on board. Let's see, the Belton Town Center end-of-year reports for Polson Alley. We still have 2 other districts to complete. We've got through mid-November to get those done. Prepared and sent letters for Chapter 100 for North Point and Pace Capital. Got the annual report done for Gilmore and Bell for the debt service in lieu of the audit not being completed, so we had to complete some other reports for Gilmore and Bell. Otherwise, the audit would have gone to 2 or 3 of the entities that require that to be done by September 30th. Completed report for the Chewy sales tax. I was able to send that over to Carolyn actually today. We are on track for what was budgeted for Chewy sales tax, but it's only because we've been able to collect the sales tax that was due from last year. So I do believe that we are going to actually hit that, but not for the FY, but because we are indeed collecting half of last year. So that's a good thing for this budget year, but we'll have to see what we end up wanting to put in the budget for next year. And I think Carolyn's going to be getting in touch with them very soon. We've started the FY24 budget, held department head meetings to discuss the budget process and the expectations. Held a demo with Tyler Tech. They are the software company that has the new Munis software that we'll hopefully be implementing next FY. So that was quick. I'm sure I forgot some things, but does anybody have any questions?
Any questions?
The reason that Casey gives you this long list of things that they've been doing is to let you know that if you see our budget report slightly behind our normal cycle, they've been very busy doing a lot of catch-up over the last couple of months. And everything's coming. All the reports are coming. Everything's being done. And they're doing a lot of hard work for us, and we really appreciate everything that they've done. That's all I have for you tonight.
Anybody else? All right. Items for review and discussion. A, Belmo Lynn Spring Waterline Replacement.
So one of the streets that we have scheduled for resurfacing this year is the 3 streets listed there. And they're also on our list of waterline replacement projects. And so we are going to try to use our pre-qualified contractors we have and bid these jobs through them. We actually already have a price for the Belmo job. The other 2 will wait till next year to do. But that'll give us one more. Belmo is just like 5 houses up, about a 5 over and 5 back. And so it's a small waterline job we're just going to try to get done. And then we'll be starting more of our waterline projects next year. I was just letting you know that this is a project that's coming your way.
Any questions?
Are you trying to figure out, are you gonna start in one area and finish that area, or are you gonna like start in 4 corners and come to the middle on the water replacement, or how are you guys planning on doing that?
Basically right now, a majority, I'd say over 90% of our waterline breaks are from 2 areas. The areas are east of Allen,
Right.
all those streets over there, and it's also in Lacey Estates. And so next year, we're going to make a concerted effort to work in those areas. Lacey Estates also needs some stormwater work. We'll do what we can with the funds we have remaining from the bond issuance. And then we're going to schedule some street resurfacing in that area. So that way, when we're done Lacey Estates, they should have better stormwater, new water lines, new fixed curbs, and pavement. It'll take us about 3 or 4 years to get that all done, but we'll be working that way.
Okay. Thank you.
Anybody else? Item B, Mark HHW 2023 Program Agreement presented by Greg.
So just like we do every year, we do the Household Hazardous Waste Program, and we do it with the city of Raymore. It basically comes down to your population times the dollar amount. Every year we're about $26,000 is what it costs us. And we have $30,000 in the budget. This is once again for next year, lining up the program and getting it all set so we can do the household hazardous waste again.
Any questions?
I just had
Go ahead.
one off of these two items, but how's the Hargis Lake project going, the stormwater?
Okay, just go. So Hargis Lake is going just fine. They've installed the culvert from the lake up to Sunset, and they've got all the sanitary sewer line installed at this point. And so now they're going to continue doing the stormwater pipe. All the water's completed, and so they'll just be doing the stormwater pipes.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Make a motion, we adjourn, it looks like.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
In a second.
He was quick up there.
Any discussion? Roll call. All in favor? That's, I know, I corrected myself.
Aye.
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 Any opposed?